For decades, John Travolta has enchanted and delighted audiences with his performances as Danny Zuko, Vinnie Barbarino, and many more roles. Tragedies, triumphs, and controversy have all been part of the icon's career. From his meteoric climb to fame in the 70s to the shocking disclosures that have rocked his fans, Travolta has been through it all. Beyond his famous image, however, there is a lot more to learn about the man, details that many will find incredible and disturbing. We should examine his journey that brought him to these specifics before we get into the intricacies. The youngest of 6 children, John Joseph Travolta came into this world in Englewood, New Jersey on February 18, 1954. Salvatore Travolta, his father, was a former athlete who became a tire salesman. Helen Cecilia Burke, his mother, was an accomplished singer, actor, and teacher. Even though John Travolta was raised in an Irish-American neighborhood, he was exposed to several cultures via his mother's theater career, which piqued his interest in performing at a young age. While growing up, Travolta and his brothers would often act out scenarios and create imaginary characters. Under the light, he sprung to life, despite his timidity off stage. Despite his father's wishes, he left Dwight Morrow High School at the age of 16 to pursue acting professionally. He had previously concentrated his energy on school plays and community theater. After completing his journey across the Hudson River, Travolta became a New York theater sensation, landing parts in the Broadway and national tours of Greece. However, Travolta longed for the enchantment of cinema. In 1972, he traveled to Los Angeles in a battered convertible made of yellow with $75 in his pocket. Even though the film showcased Spas's spectacular debut, Travolta held his own, looking forward to his star-making performance 2 years later, after having tiny appearances in shows like Emergency. The role of Vinnie Barbarino on the 1975-1979 hit sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter catapulted Travolta to stardom in the 1970s. The story follows Gabe Kotter as he goes back to his old school in Brooklyn to teach a class of troubled students called the Sweat Hogs. Among them is Barbarino. While playing the role of Barbarino, a charming but naive men's man, Travolta became famous for his outrageous catchphrases like, "Up your nose with a rubber hose." Fans adored him and he became an instant sensation in popular culture. Producers were reluctant to hire Travolta at first due to his lack of professional acting skills, he claims. He wowed them during his audition thanks to his charm and timing. Travolta rose to fame with his top 10 hit Welcome Back, Kotter. By assuming the identity of Vinnie Barbarino for the recording of Let Her In, he reached number 10 on the Billboard charts in 1976. With starring roles in the horror film Carrie, 1976, and the dance drama Saturday Night Fever, 1977, Travolta rose to fame after his breakthrough on television. One of the bullies that tortured the title heroine in Carrie was played by John Travolta. His performance as the nasty bully Billy Nolan was a showcase for his acting skills. The role of Tony Manero, a troubled young man from Brooklyn who finds solace in the rhythms of the local disco, was Travolta's breakout role in Saturday Night Fever. One of the most financially successful movies of the 90s, Saturday Night Fever, was a cultural phenomenon because to its use of iconic disco music. Travolta received his first Best Actor nomination when he was only 24 years old. Playing Danny Zuko in the 1978 blockbuster hit musical Grease solidified Travolta's position as Hollywood's newest heartthrob. As the leader of the T-Birds Greaser group, Travolta gets to showcase his acting and dancing abilities. The gang has a summer romance, and Travolta falls for the good-hearted Sandy. At the time of its debut, Grease was the highest-grossing musical of all time, and its soundtrack was as massive, solidifying Travolta's position as a triple threat who can sing, dance, and act. After his phenomenal success, Travolta's career took a surprising turn in the 1980s due to the underwhelming reception of a number of his film choices. Critics and audiences alike were unimpressed with films like Staying Alive, 1983, Perfect, 1985, and Two of a Kind, 1983. Richard Gere was cast instead of him in many hit films, including American Gigolo and An Officer and a Gentleman. Even though Travolta kept up his consistent performance, it seemed like his days of being a leading man were gone. This all changed in 1994, when John Travolta returned to the big screen in Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino's masterwork in postmodern cinema. In Tarantino's stylized criminal world, Travolta showcased his range and innate calmness as hitman Vincent Vega. Travolta received his second Best Actor nomination for his portrayal in Pulp Fiction, which was the turning point in his career. In an instant, he was a Hollywood A-lister again, in high demand by the industry's most prestigious filmmakers. After Pulp Fiction, John Travolta's filmography saw him vacillate between dramatic roles in features like Primary Colors, A Civil Action, and The General's Daughter, and comedic ones in Get Shorty, Face Off, Phenomenon, and Michael. In 2007, he even went back to his musical roots by starring as Edna Turnblad in Hairspray. As attorney Robert Shapiro in FX's American crime story The People vs. O.J. Simpson, 2016, Travolta made his long-awaited return to television. Simpson, he was nominated for an Emmy for it. John Travolta has become one of Hollywood's most enduring actors because to his 5 decades of smash hits. Throughout his meteoric rise to fame, Travolta has skillfully navigated the ups and downs of the industry, connecting with fans in unique ways at every turn. Being able to constantly reinvent oneself and stay current is a testament to his immense charm and adaptability. Tragic event after tragic event beset Travolta, his seemingly perfect Hollywood existence, and he struggled mightily with his immense inner issues. In 1976, while filming The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, Travolta met and fell head over heels for actress Diana Hyland, which was his first encounter with grief. She was 41 years old when she passed away from breast cancer 1 year later. While still reeling from the unexpected loss of Hyland, Travolta had a string of short, troubled relationships, including an obsession with French diva Catherine Deneuve in 1980, and an on-again, off-again liaison with Marilu Henner. A more devastating emotional setback was imminent. In 1988, while shooting The Experts, Travolta crossed paths with actress Kelly Preston. The happy couple tied the knot 3 years later in a modest ceremony in Paris, and then they had a Florida celebration. They made Ocala their permanent home in 1992, and by 2010 they had 3 children, Jet, Ella Bleu, and Benjamin. Once upon a time, John Travolta's actual life lived up to the fantastical grandeur of his cinematic roles. While they were happy, it was fragile like a movie set. Jet passed away on January 2, 2009, while on vacation with his family in the Bahamas for Christmas. He was 16 years old. Jet suffered from seizures due to the autoimmune condition Kawasaki disease, which he had since he was 2 years old, according to public statements made by Travolta. During a seizure, Jet banged his head on the bathtub, causing him to die. The loss shattered the family. In 2010, Travolta and Preston paid honor to Jet by establishing the Jet Travolta Foundation. Helping children with unique disabilities is the main goal of this nonprofit. It has been an enthusiastic supporter of many causes over the years. The Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy, which helps disadvantaged girls and young women, is one of its most prominent beneficiaries. Aside from that, the foundation has given money to an organization that helps kids who have developmental delays or brain damage realize their full potential, the Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential. The Simon Wiesenthal Center, an international human rights organization that defends the inherent worth of every person and works to end bigotry, intolerance, and terrorism, is another recipient. Marriage therapy was a regular occurrence for the pair, which Travolta says helped them get through tough times as a unit. In an interview, Travolta said that the couple still maintains a close connection and that they care deeply for and protect one another. After a 2-year covert fight with breast cancer, Travolta's wife Kelly passed away at the age of 57 on July 12, 2020. The actor Travolta broke the news to his Instagram followers, writing, It is with a very heavy heart that I inform you that my beautiful wife Kelly has lost her 2-year battle with breast cancer. Kelly fought a courageous fight with the love and support of so many. He also thanked the doctors and nurses at MD Anderson Cancer Center, where Preston received treatment. He went on to say how much he appreciated the love and support Preston had from her loved ones as she battled illness. The Travolta family has asked for the public's understanding and privacy at this difficult time, as they acknowledge that healing will take time. After losing his beloved Diana Hyland to cancer 43 years ago, Travolta suffered the tragic loss of his wife, his second wife, to the disease. Tragically, Travolta and their 2 remaining children were already grieving the loss of their son Jet when Preston passed away, which added to their pain and suffering. Those close to Travolta, including fans and other celebrities, wasted no time expressing their sympathy and solidarity with him and his family on social media. In an Instagram post just 2 days before she passed away, Preston shared a photo of herself and Travolta with their son Jet, and the caption, "Happy 4th of July, everyone. Sending love to everyone today." Actor Josh Gad added, "I'm so saddened to hear this. My love and condolences." Actress Maria Shriver expressed her sorrow, saying, "I'm so sorry for your loss. Kelly was such a bright, loving soul, a talented actress and a loving mom and wife. My heart breaks for you and your family." After Preston's passing, her followers shared the heartbreaking tribute on social media. After the tragic deaths of their son Jet and now Kelly, the couple had suffered 2 devastating losses. Once again, Travolta will be able to overcome incomprehensible grief with the support of his loved ones and his Scientology beliefs. His smooth exterior started to crumble at the same time that Travolta seemed to have found peace in the otherwise turbulent world of Hollywood. He was said to be about to lose everything he had labored for. His sexuality has been the subject of many repeated accusations. From 1991 until Kelly Preston's tragic death, Travolta and the actress were married. The couple had 3 children together. But rumors about Travolta's homosexuality have circulated throughout the years. 2 male masseurs who want to remain anonymous filed lawsuits against Travolta in 2012, accusing him of sexual abuse and assault. One of the victims, John Doe 1, claimed that in January 2012, while getting a massage at the Beverly Hills Hotel, Travolta masturbated and touched him. This lawsuit is a complete fiction and fabrication. None of the events claimed in the suit ever occurred. Marty Singer, Travolta's lawyer, emphatically denied the accusation. John Doe 2, the second plaintiff, said that Travolta had attacked him in an Atlanta hotel later in January 2012. Singer vehemently denied the accusations once again, this time labeling them preposterous and ridiculous. However, in May of 2012, John Doe 1 suddenly dropped all charges when Travolta presented proof showing he was in New York City at the time. His lawyer, Okori Okorocha, informed the press that his client had given the wrong date for the purported meeting. Following John Doe 1's decision to drop the case, Okorocha promised to keep fighting for John Doe 2 in court. However, the second case was eventually dropped, leading many to believe the accusations were unfounded. After John Doe 1 cleared Travolta completely, the actor's lawyer abandoned all accusations and the case was dismissed. The attorney was counting on a successful outcome for his client with John Doe 2. Concurrently, photos purportedly showing Travolta cross-dressing at a 1997 party were released by the National Enquirer, who said that the photographs proved that Travolta's secret life had caused marital strife with Preston. In the released photos, Travolta can be seen sporting a black dress, high heels, heavy ebony eyeliner, rose-colored lip gloss, and a ponytailed flowing blonde wig. The Enquirer was informed by an unnamed Preston confidant that the actress was distraught when the news of John's cross-dressing became public. This occurred after decades of living with his secret identities. Preston openly stood with Travolta despite the claims, and Travolta's lawyer denied any truth to the cross-dressing report. However, Outlandish claims about Travolta's sexuality became tabloid fodder, which hurt his image. And further source of controversy arose in 2014 when Doug Gotterba, who had served as a pilot for Travolta in the 1980s, said that the two had a 6-year love relationship. After quitting his work with Travolta, Gotterba allegedly signed a termination agreement that included a secrecy limitation. The members of Travolta's team have remained silent about the matter. A police document mentioning a harassment charge made against Travolta in 2000 surfaced around the same time, in 2017. An unnamed male spa employee claimed that Travolta inappropriately grabbed him during a late-night treatment. Nevertheless, the evaluation determined that the event did not meet the standards for sexual battery, and the case was dismissed. Travolta has always denied any wrongdoing or sexual misconduct, despite years of accusations and rumors to the contrary. He spoke affectionately about Preston in interviews during their marriage, which lasted until she passed away. In an episode from 2020 of his talk show, Kevin Hart wanted to know John Travolta's secret to a long marriage. On Watch What Happens Live, Travolta said, "We really care deeply about each other and we protect each other. I protect her and she protects me." Preston, meanwhile, has defended her husband against rumors, telling Andy Cohen, "It's really funny because we both have a sense of humor about it." When asked directly if the rumors bother her, Preston responded, "No, because I know the truth. I know who he is, and he knows who I am." Numerous professional troubles have befallen Travolta, in addition to charges pertaining to his private life. Shout, which was launched in 1991, featured Travolta and Heather Graham. Graham said that Travolta subjected her to sexual harassment on set by suggesting that she needed to have an affair with him in order to get cast in one of his projects. The claims were vigorously denied by Travolta. Persistent claims about Travolta's sexuality and his complicated links to the mysterious Church of Scientology have both captivated audiences for years. However, is there a connection between the two? Distinguishing reality from fantasy is now necessary. Since becoming a Scientologist in 1975, John Travolta has gained notoriety. Mike Rinder, a former official in the Church of Scientology, claims that John Travolta and his late wife, Kelly Preston, were leaders and devout members of the religion. Consequently, the church saw them as valuable public relations assets and made great efforts to preserve their reputation as a dedicated Scientology marriage. As the chief of the church's Office of Special Affairs, Rinder was assigned the responsibility of helping Travolta deal with sexuality rumors, which he calls landmines that may damage Scientology's messaging about the efficiency of its techniques. This incident is detailed in Rinder's book. Despite the fact that Travolta has been the subject of several sexual harassment and assault charges over the years, Rinder asserts that he and Travolta's lawyers took legal action against news outlets to censor the coverage of these claims. Regardless of these efforts that take place behind the scenes, Travolta's close affiliation with Scientology has garnered increasing public notice. This is especially true after the 2015 HBO documentary Going Clear, Scientology and the Prison of Belief, which painted the church in a negative light, depicting its members as abusive and dangerous. To the question of why he would want to see such a derogatory film about a group that had been nothing but amazing to him for the last 4 decades, Travolta said he had no intention of seeing it. In 2009, Travolta's son Jet died tragically at the age of 16. He described Scientology as beautiful and said that he would not have survived those 2 years without the church's assistance. He said that Scientology counselors assisted him in dealing with his loss non-stop from Monday through Sunday. And Travolta went on to say that many individuals have benefited from his Scientology therapy, which is called auditing, in overcoming major life challenges like death in the family or serious sickness. He said that criticizing something that, in his opinion, has always worked would be the same as committing a crime. According to Travolta, just a few of disgruntled ex-members were criticizing Scientology, According to Rinder, the church will go to great lengths to shield its famous members from problems that may bring the organization crashing down. This is in line with Travolta's persistent public support of Scientology. Famous Scientologists like John Travolta may find it simpler to leave the church if they want to, according to Going Clear director Alex Gibney. However, Travolta remained steadfast in his belief that Scientology had enabled him to overcome insurmountable obstacles. Even though Travolta has been a Scientologist for 40 years and still believes in the life-changing personal growth that the religion offers, he seems unfaltering in his devotion despite the criticisms leveled against the church. On the other hand, actress Leah Remini is one of several prominent Scientology defectors who has defended films like Going Clear, which exaggerate abusive claims made by former members. Travolta has not officially acknowledged any departure from the Church of Scientology, despite rumors to the contrary. This is especially true in light of his recent tragic experiences, which may have tested his allegiance to the faith. The complex and multifaceted nature of Travolta's long-standing relationship with the church, which spans decades, suggests that he is dedicated for the time being. Even though he has remained a major champion for the organization throughout the controversies, the reasons for his unwavering loyalty are still unknown. John Travolta shocked fans when he revealed a near-death experience he had more than 3 decades ago while flying a plane. At the London premiere of his 2013 short film, The Shepherd, Travolta recounted the story of his business aircraft having a complete electrical failure above Washington, D.C. Reportedly, the idea of the film hit close to home for him because of this true event. According to Travolta, he was forced to fly blind after suddenly losing all of his flying gear and electronics. Even though he possessed 2 working jet engines, he was sure he was going to die. The experience of believing one's own death was imminent was something that Travolta remembered. "I assumed it was over," while Travolta was flying his family from Florida to Maine for Thanksgiving in 1992, despite the fact that he had 2 respectable jet engines but no instrumentation, electricity, or anything else. In Washington airspace, his aircraft supposedly almost hit a commercial jet. While avoiding harm during an emergency landing at Ronald Reagan Airport, Travolta relied on his talent and good fortune. Unexpectedly, Travolta drew parallels between the film's storyline and his own horrific experience. After an electrical breakdown, he plays the role of an aviator who saves a novice pilot in the short film. Travolta said that it took 30 years to create this picture, even though he had the rights years ago. He made fun of the fact that he was acting in consecutive films because they were all released so soon after Pulp Fiction. Finally, after 10 years of trying, he realized he was hopeless and quit up. John Travolta is still going strong as he nears the conclusion of his legendary career. An exciting thriller and a comedic holiday commercial will showcase the versatile actor's flexibility in 2024, which promises to be another action-packed year for him. Cash Out, a mysterious and thrilling criminal thriller, comes up first. Along with his leading part as the fascinating Mason Goddard, narrative details suggest that this could be Travolta's most violent film to date, on par with the intensity of his hitmen in Pulp Fiction and The Punisher. The classic red coat, white beard, and sparkling eyes of Santa Claus allowed Travolta to display his lighter side as well. He still has it in him, as shown in his unexpected role as Santa Claus in Capital One's Christmas Night Fever ad. In your opinion, how good is John Travolta? Please inform us by leaving a comment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel while you're down there. Much obliged for your time.